Hi there, welcome to Graham's and thanks for joining us. Today we're looking at a couple of new products from Creek Audio that were released in the back end of 2023, the 4040A amplifier and the 4040 CD. Now the 4040A is Creek's 40th anniversary edition of their 4040A from 1982. Try saying that 4 times quickly. And if you're thinking maybe the math doesn't quite match up with the 1982 to 2023, we were thinking the same sort of thing, but we're willing to give Creek a pass on that one. Both of these come in at very reasonable prices. You've got the 4040A at £799 and the 4040 CD at £699. Now, as you can see, both of these products are very small, and it's always interesting to see manufacturers release products of this sort of size, be it a speaker or an amplifier or a CD player, and see what the performance is like or what functionality or connectivity you have despite their diminutive sizes. Now, the 4040A is jam-packed with different features, but is a very sort of simple display on the front. You've got 2 rotary knobs for volume and source selection, as well as some other functionality that we'll get into, and a simple black or white display. You also get with both of the items a simple remote control, which will control either of them if you do obviously buy them as a system, so it's nice and simple. Now, the 4040A is really the sort of like the driving force behind this partnership, because Creek have spent a lot of time trying to make this as good as it possibly can be. As well as it being very small, you've got a 1/4-inch jack on the front, and that means that you could very easily put this, let's say, on a desktop and drive a small pair of monitor speakers, or actually obviously plug in a pair of headphones. Now, if I was to spin this around, what you'll see is no space at all. The 4040A is absolutely jam-packed with connectivity on the back of it. You've got 3 analog inputs, the first being XLR, which once again is not the most normal thing to see on an amplifier of this size, and then 2 extra line-level RCA inputs, which have alternative functions if you want them. Now, input 2 in the middle here can either have Creek's moving magnet sequel phono stage board put inside, so no extra boxes, and that's an optional extra at £129. And then you've got the input 3, which can be either line level or an AV bypass, so you can simply use the amplification built into this. That's obviously useful for home cinema systems, but even more so for things like Sonos, for instance, where you might just want to use the volume control from that product and use the amplification from something like this. Alternatively, you could use one of the 4 digital inputs that you've got as well. You have coaxial optical via Toslink, a USB-B, which once again makes it very simple for it to be a desktop amplifier. You can just run a USB cable directly out of your computer, be it PC or Mac, and straight into the back of this, no DACs extra needed. And then you've got Bluetooth 5.0 using aptX. Now, the DAC inside the 4040A is a 32-bit ESS Sabre DAC and is very high quality. Creek have really put a lot of effort into trying to make the DAC inside this as good as it possibly can be. You've also got a 55-watt amplifier inside this, and the amplification really drives. We've put it with successively larger speakers and really find that there doesn't seem to be a limit to what it can push. So the performance is surprising for its size. It really sort of belays what a bit of a beast it is. So the accompanying CD player is a slightly more basic unit. It's a CD player, so you've got a slot loading drive at the front, some simple buttons on the front, and then if I were to spin it round, you've just got RCA outputs, no XLR, and the reason for that is because Creek actually recommends that you use the digital outputs from this. The DAC inside it is quite basic, so whereas it's helpful for it to have analog outputs, if it was partnered with something like the 4040A, obviously they'd recommend that, then you could use either the coaxial optical to plug this directly in and get better quality. But it's odd to see sort of manufacturers releasing CD players, let alone ones of this size. So in actual fact, this does stand on its own quite well, because you could easily put this with a secondary system, something like a Name Muso or a one-box sort of hi-fi that has all the streaming and Bluetooth capability but no CD playback. So if you want easily to be able to play your discs into something like this, this is going to fit very nicely onto the shelf wherever it is, and you can pop them in and just play them that way. Either of these products can actually be used as a small system, but they can easily be used for things like in-ceiling speakers to provide better quality sound with a good DAC and obviously Bluetooth capability, or sort of to, once again, put that little system in your study, your bedroom, your kitchen, for instance. So they have a very high usability factor, and we love seeing products like this from great manufacturers like Creek, who have a history of making some fantastic products. Both of them are available here to demonstrate, so if you wanted to have a look and a listen, please feel free to come down and we'd be happy to help. Thank you very much.